Welcome to the Gorgeous Guru podcast. I'm your host, Day, the Gorgeous Guru. If you're craving real talk, inspiration, and soulful guidance, you found it. This episode is a Gorgeous Guru rant. A Gorgeous Guru rant is where I basically just talk shit about the things that really grind my gears or get on my last nerve. Today's rant-worthy topic is wives submitting to husbands. Because what the fuck is that anyway? Like, really, what is that? Every time I hear someone speak of this notion, I cringe. It doesn't feel right to my spirit, and honestly, it never has. To submit means to give over or yield to the power or authority of another. Riddle me this, why would I need to do that in a marriage? Why is that necessary? Why is it necessary for women to yield to the power or authority of men? This practice is absolutely ridiculous, and it infantilizes women and insinuates that we are incapable of properly caring for ourselves. Additionally, it reeks of misogyny and outdated patriarchal stereotypes. One day I decided to do some research on where this belief system originated. I know most people associate it with the Bible. Ephesians 5:22 states, "Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife as Christ is the head of the church." But prior to this biblical ordinance, what did people believe? That's what I wanted to know. In my studies, I found a couple of things. Number one, long before Abrahamic religions took hold, the dominant conception throughout the earth, mind you, was that the divine was feminine. So what we call God today was called the goddess. The goddess was praised, the goddess was revered, and the goddess was seen as the creator and maintainer of the cosmos. I also found in my research that it wasn't until Indo-European tribes began migrating into the Near East, Europe, and India that you start to see this shift to the patriarchal structures that we're used to today. So not only did they bring their cultures and their belief systems, but they also introduced this very sexist, patriarchal, and sometimes misogynistic thinking, right? Because these tribes worshipped male deities, it wasn't uncommon to see female deities kind of pushed to the background or absorbed into pantheons. And eventually, this misogynistic and sexist thinking would make its way into religious texts. And I know that's hard for some people to believe. There are many people who want to believe that their books, their religious texts, are beyond reproach, right? That they could not have been changed or altered or corrupted by humanity. But the truth is, anything we touch, y'all, anything humanity touches or has a hand in is going to be corrupted in some way. Our perceptions, our belief systems, our perspectives will always kind of seep into anything we have a hand in. So I believe that's why this notion of wives submitting to husbands is now something you find throughout a majority of the world's religions. If you want to look more into this topic, check out the book When God Was a Woman by Merlin Stone. This author does a great job of using historical documents and artifacts to prove the theory that God was actually a woman before God became a man. And y'all, I was so intrigued by this topic that I actually did a deep dive over on Substack. I wrote an article called "Does God Hate Women?" And I looked into different religious texts and pinpointed these sexist belief systems that have seeped into these religions. I looked at the Bible, the Quran, the Hindu Gita, and the Yoruba Odu Ifa. If you're interested in that, become a paid subscriber over on Substack. Just to be clear, the Bible is not my blueprint for life here on earth, right? So in my former life, I was a Christian, but I'm not anymore. And I no longer refer or defer to the Bible when I'm looking for answers about how to navigate life. When I'm looking for answers on how to navigate life, I get quiet and I go within my being, right? That's where I get my answers from. But even when I was a Christian, I don't remember being thrilled about this notion of submitting to a husband. And I often wonder why my husband, a man, any man, would desire or need a woman's submission. That's so weird to me. Like, it really is cringe to me. I feel like a divinely inspired man, a man who is in alignment with his highest mind, wouldn't even require that of his mate. One of the reasons why this doesn't work for me is I am a highly intelligent and intuitive woman. I value my autonomy and my ability to direct my life as I see fit. Why would a man want to come into my life and rule over me? Am I not capable of ruling over myself? Again, I feel like it infantilizes women and assumes that women are not powerful enough, intelligent enough, wise enough to direct their own lives. I believe this narrative has been pushed in order to disconnect women from their innate power and make them easier to control and more pliable. Because let's be honest, when women fully stand in their power, patriarchy and the systems that it supports fall. And why would a patriarchal system support anything that's going to cause its demise? As for me, I prefer to be in union with a man who celebrates my power and encourages me to stand in my own authority. I desire true partnership, one where we value each other's perspectives and work together to craft a beautiful and joy-filled life. For me, nothing else will do. I will not submit. I will not submit my will to the authority of another. That's just not going to happen. Okay, that's the end of my rant for today, y'all. I really want to know what you guys think about this topic. If you want to join the conversation, you can do so over on YouTube and Instagram at The Gorgeous Guru Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast, there are now 2 ways that you can support the show. You can sign up for monthly donations at thegorgeousgurupodcast.com or become a paid subscriber on Substack. There you'll receive access to exclusive content such as episode deep dives where we go further into topics like this and intuitive messages. Learn more at thegorgeousgurupodcast.substack.com. Thank you for joining me today and listening to my rant. You could have spent this time doing anything, but you decided to spend it with me, and I'm grateful.